Welcome to the ATSU All-Campus Meeting. It's a great day to celebrate the Founders Day and osteopathic medicine, as well as A.T. Still University. It's our pleasure at this time to introduce Dr. Jack Magruder, President of A.T. Still University. Many of you know Dr. Magruder because he was on the faculty of Truman State University as a professor of chemistry and taught numerous pre-DO students. Some of you may even recall some of those tests and exams, and hopefully you won't shake a bit when he starts to speak. He went on to serve as the head of the Division of Science, the acting dean of instruction, vice president for academic affairs, and was the 13th president of Truman State. After serving on our board of trustees, Dr. Magruder became ATSU president in 2008. Dr. Magruder made history in Kirksville, being a president for both of its universities. So at this time, please welcome Dr. Magruder.
Thank you. Is it working? Thank you. She did well for 20 seconds. I told her 20 seconds. She got a lot in there. Thank you. I did tell her one other thing she left out, and that was the greatest thing that's ever happened to me is being president of this institution, except for the 56 years of marriage to Sue. Those two things. But thank you all for showing up here today. And I'm just delighted that you're here. We have several board members with us. I'd like for them to stand for just a moment if they would. Okay, very good. Thank you. They give of their time, talent, financial resources, and great wisdom to keep us on track. And they're meeting for a couple of days. And so we're really glad they're here and were able to join us this morning. The purpose of this morning is to honor those people who have gone before us, and we're going to do that all the time. But I'm going to give a very short statement about some things. One is those wonderful students back there. They're absolutely outstanding. We selected the best that applied, and we had 3,000 people interested in coming here. These people are 172 of the finest medical students in the country. That's the first year class. Second year class is just as good, and there's several of those out there too, so I don't want to short them. It's wonderful that they're here, and I'm so pleased they're here because you're going to see the people who have carried the banner for our profession for so many years and who have done it so well and have contributed to the healing and the lessening of pain and suffering of so many people. And so you have something ahead of you here that we know you'll do the same kind of thing in making the osteopathic profession the best in the world. Right now, 1 out of every 5 medical students in the country is at an osteopathic college. Isn't that marvelous? And when you think of A.T. Still starting this place in 1892, one person that was kind of a rebel MD brought forth all of this. And we're so grateful, so grateful. Now, I do have something I am to give, and it's a pleasure to do so. We're going to recognize Dr. Larissa Lasovetskaya. She's here from St. Petersburg, and she has 6 of her colleagues, I believe. Would you please stand, from St. Petersburg, Russia? They are presenting to the CME group. The CME group here, they're not here, are they? Where are they? Okay, good. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Well, about a dozen of them are my former students. And they were wonderful chemistry students, and so I know they're brilliant physicians. But thank you all for being here. Larissa, thank you. This is a penny postcard, but it won't mail for a penny. But it's a penny postcard of the American Osteopathic College, or school, as of 1905. Now, you don't see any Porsches and Corvettes here. It's all carriages, but I like those even better. And we want you to take this with you, Larissa. And thank you for showing up over here and blessing us with your presence.
Thank you.
help with the translation.
Для любого остеопата большая честь быть в Кирксвилле.
It's a great honor for every osteopath to visit Kirksville.
И мы благодарим всех за предоставленную нам возможность прикоснуться к истокам нашей профессии.
And we're very thankful for everybody who has given us an opportunity to be in touch with the source of our profession.
И в ответ мы хотели бы подарить университету
In response, we'd like to give to
небольшую
the
картину
university
нашего города.
a small picture showing our city.
Потому что это не только колыбель революции,
It's-
но и
because
колыбель российской остеопатии.
St. Petersburg is not only the cradle of the Great October Socialist Revolution, it's the cradle of Russian osteopathy.
Это зимняя картина,
St. Petersburg is
потому что больше половины года у нас зима.
because most than half of the year we live under the conditions of winter. Они тоже. Don't compare your winter with our winter.
Let's get Cynthia Boiler. Thank you. Thank you.
A couple of seconds because we have 2 books to give to the university.
Go ahead. Hey, thank you, sir.
Поскольку это историческое место, нам бы хотелось сделать еще один очень символичный подарок музею, который здесь находится.
As far as it's a very historical place, we'd like to give a symbolic gift to the museum of ATSU.
Это часы,
This is the clock,
но часы необычные,
but it's not a usual clock
потому что они идут в другую
because
сторону.
it goes backwards.
Это как символ соединения
It's just a symbol of alliance,
прошлого и будущего.
the past and the future.
Good.
А также мы привезли 2 книги.
And we have also brought 2 books.
Первая – это изданная на русском языке книга Магуна.
The first book is the translation of the book of Help Magun in Russian.
А вторая книга написана профессором Андриановым.
And the other book is written by Professor Andrianov.
Благодаря именно этому человеку есть остеопатия в России.
And because of Professor Andrianov, we have got osteopathy in Russia.
И мы тоже приносим эти книги в дар
So
музею.
this is the gift to the museum.
Спасибо вам еще раз
Thank
за
you ever so
предоставленную
much.
возможность.
Jason, come on down. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, all of you, and thank you for assembling into this place, and you heard a key word from the translator, into this place where A.T. Still would be delighted to be in this room today, because this is the place where that touch of the soft hand of human kindness is extended to all. Thank you.
At this time, it is an honor to introduce the chair of the ATSU Board of Trustees, Dr. Carl Bynum, class of 1974. Dr. Bynum's career has been in family practice and as a medical director. He is currently the Associate Regional Medical Director for the Correctional Medical Services of Jefferson City, Missouri. Dr. Bynum is a past president of MAOPS and very active with AOA Medical Informatics in the House of Delegates. Dr. Bynum.
Well, thank you, Laurie. Gosh, after that presentation, I could just go home now. That was great. But on behalf of the Board of Trustees of A.T. Still University, welcome back to Kirksville. Founders Day is an exciting time on this campus as alumni from far and wide return to the birthplace of osteopathic medicine to reconnect with the school and with their friends. We'd like to thank all of you for coming and to help us celebrate Founders Day at this incredible institution. Certainly we have much to celebrate. Enrollment in all 5 of our schools is solid, and the academic profile of our students has never been higher. We are fortunate to have an outstanding faculty and staff helping prepare this next generation of healthcare providers. We are on firm financial footing as we face tough economic times. We have a community of productive scholars who promulgate powerful advances in healthcare through their research, and our students and the employees support their communities through their helpless volunteerism. We've made tremendous progress as a university. AT still is thriving, and you have much to be proud. Over the next couple of days, I invite you to reacquaint yourself with your friends and with our campus and take a good look around. Welcome back, and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bynum. Dr. Wood became the first university-wide chief academic officer just recently, and he is the Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. Wood served as the inaugural Dean of the School of Osteopathic Medicine in Arizona, known as SOMA, from 2005 until recently this summer, 2010. Prior to that, he served as President of the American Association of Colleges of Osteopathic Medicine, ACOM, from 1995 to 2005. In addition, he is a past Dean of the College of Osteopathic Medicine at Michigan State University and a Director of Medical Education at Mount Clemens General Hospital. And now I'd like to turn things over to Dr. Wood.
Thank you, Lori. You know, as I've said before, when I hear these things, it makes me think that maybe I have trouble holding a job, which I don't think I do. I specifically would like to welcome you folks from Russia. I am so sorry. I didn't know you were going to be here and that my wife isn't here, because my wife is a Russian scholar, speaks the language, and she would very much enjoy being here. And then when I go home and tell her that you were here, that she will be sad. She will be sad. You know, it's always hard to outdo the president, because I've only been married 50 years, and he has a number of years on me, so congratulations to you and Sue. Now, as we think about why we're here, it's fundamentally to support, rather to be part of and to support the lives of a lot of people, and certainly Andrew Taylor still is one of those. And I have read a lot of things that Dr. Still has written, and certainly he was an innovative thinker, he was a forward thinker, he was a risk taker. And without those characteristics, we would not be here today. And as the president has said, there are a lot of folks here who have helped move things along to continue our being. One of the things that is important and that we have tried to do is to carry forth with the spirit of Dr. Still, this innovative spirit. And one of the things that quite a few of us have been involved in over the past 15 months is to create a new strategic plan for A.T. Still University. And I've had the privilege with Dr. Michael McManus, who is back there somewhere, to co-chair this effort. But the real interesting thing about this effort, I believe, is that we had very broad input from a very wide audience of individuals. So it's not just the plan of a few, 17 on the planning committee, it's the plan of a very wide audience. And the board will be considering this plan at its meeting this afternoon and tomorrow. And if it isn't changed very much, the plan will then go into action. Now, this is a very bold plan, but we think that boldness is necessary now to move us forward. And when fully implemented, which will probably be 20 years or so from now, that A.T. Still University will be the preeminent health professions university in this country. Think about that. Think about how bold that is, but we will make it happen, but we will need a lot of help from all of you. So we may well be knocking on your door now and then to say, we need some help to make this happen. But I'm very glad to be here, be glad to be part of this, even though I'm not a graduate of KCOM. I'll freely admit that. I graduated from the Kansas City School, that I'm very honored to be part of this university now, and particularly in this day and age when we are going to move things forward very significantly. So thank all of you for being here.
Thank you, Dr. Wood. Now it's a pleasure to introduce Dr. Philip Slocum, Dean of the Kirksville College of Osteopathic Medicine. He received his DO degree from KCOM in 1976. Prior to coming to KCOM, Dr. Slocum achieved a distinguished record in critical care medicine and internal medicine in the states of Maine and Texas. So please welcome Dr. Slocum.
This is dangerous giving me anything but technology, as I learned yesterday, and you will soon learn why in a very short period of time. First of all, I would like to address our students. You are absolutely some of the best and outstanding people that we have, and I want you all just to stand and be recognized. Would you all just stand for me? Thank you. While you're standing there, I want you to gaze upon these people who preceded you. These are the people who have cut a pathway into osteopathic medicine that is a new pathway for you. Their hard work, their dedication has made what you face much easier and much more tolerable. Let me assure you that while they were there, as students, they went through the same disappointments, disenfranchisements, feelings of, I'm not going to make it, I'm not good enough. Everybody goes through those feelings. And I want to let you know that you too have now achieved that ability to follow their footsteps. You may be seated. I appreciate you all very much. Thank you so much for coming for this Founders Day. Next, I want all of my faculty and administration staff just to stand up for just a brief second. Come on, folks, don't be shy. These are the people who are the girders in the building that hold up all of the wonderful things that happen here at the Kirksville College of Osteopathic Medicine. A special thanks to Peter Kondrashov, who was kind enough to help me learn enough Russian that I could not make a complete fool out of myself when I went to St. Petersburg. Next, I want to let you know about my technical skills. There. That is the limit of my technical skills. I do this for a reason. That is because yesterday, Mr. Eric Barber, the CEO of the hospital, and I went down to Columbia, and as late as 11:30 last night, got the confirmation of the first endowed chair for KCOM. We now have an endowed chair for orthopedic medicine and sports medicine. This ability to receive an endowed chair came through many, many, many months of very hard work to work with this individual to convince him that it was most appropriate for him to leave his position at the University of Missouri to come to KCOM. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about him in a moment, but some people who need real special thanks are Eric Barber, the CEO of Northeast Regional Medical Center, whose financial support made this happen. Without him, it would not be successful. And I wish he was here. I had asked him to come to this meeting, and he unfortunately could not make it because he had other commitments. But the hospital did a lot in partnering. Several months ago, our great president got together the Health Council, the medical school, and the hospital to coordinate the hiring of all future physicians so that they will have an interest and an ability to teach as well as practice medicine if they want to practice in the city of Kirksville. And this is the first big proof that this plan worked. Other people who deserve special thanks in this include Mr. Jerry Cummings and his company, Matt Heron, ATSU legal counsel. I refuse to call him general counsel because on Dr. Magruder's door and and my door, the only rank that we have is private. So I refuse to call him general counsel. And I also need to thank my executive assistant to the dean, Kathy Campbell, for her hard work in making sure this happens. And a very special thanks to the John P. Wood Foundation for funding the Endowed Chair of Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine. Now, who is this recipient? He is an exceptional academic physician by any measure. He is a subspecialist who has outstanding clinical and teaching skills, who actively performs basic science, clinical science, and translational research. He is widely published. He is the U.S. swim team physician, and he is MU's basketball physician. He is very dedicated to improving the quality of life in rural areas in northeast Missouri, and he has already talked about innovative programs and partnering with our sister school, Truman State University. And as an example of one of the things that we've been talking about is to recruit for the summer camp program highly competitive women who are swimmers and volleyball players, because for those who don't realize this, Truman not only ranks #1 in academics, but often ranks #1 in women's swimming and in volleyball nationwide. So we now have the capability of bringing in young girls in high school to Truman for training camps and have our physicians do their physical examinations and have their training being done at Truman, staying at the dorms at Truman, and seeing what it's like to live in Kirksville, and hopefully recruit more students to Truman and eventually more students to KCOM. So this is just one idea of a billion ideas that we've talked about that we think is very outstanding. Truman, as you know, is ranked #1 for public liberal arts colleges in the Midwest. They often call themselves the Harvard of the Midwest. Now, my friend Kimberly and I, at separate times, went to different courses at Harvard Graduate School of Education this past summer. She went to the Management and Leadership and Education course, and I went to the Institute on Educational Management. And I don't know about her, but when I was walking around Harvard Square, never once did I see, "We are the Truman State University of the Northeast." I think that this cooperation signals that there is truly a commitment between ATSU, Truman State University, the Health Council, the hospital, to help better the city of Kirksville, Adair County, and the 11 counties that make up northeast Missouri, which is a landmass larger than the state of Delaware. This is a very proud time for us, and we're excited and ecstatic beyond belief. Now, I'm supposed to keep this short, but I love stories, and I'm going to want to tell you one little story, and there's a reason for it, and then I will end. Stories tend to teach me things better than just listening to plain facts. And so each year I try and go throughout medical history and find a physician who probably nobody in this room has ever heard of. Although this physician, I think maybe my Aunt Judy may have heard of, because she trained at Columbia Presbyterian. My Aunt Judy got her nursing degree from Columbia Presbyterian. And this is about a young lady who was raised the youngest of 7 children of a Presbyterian minister in Manhattan, New York. She went to a private school, then went to Vassar College and was Phi Beta Kappa. She went to Columbia University to receive her MD degree, and then did surgery at Columbia Presbyterian Hospital. Her name is Barbara Bartlett Stimson, M.D. Now, Stimson, for those people who are in the 50th year class, and those of us who are getting gray, will remember Henry Stimson, who was the Secretary of War under multiple presidents and Secretary of State under Herbert Hoover. He was Secretary of War under FDR during World War II. She volunteered when the program started to go to England to treat war victims from the evacuation of Dunkirk. The call had come out that they did not have enough physicians. And so she volunteered to do that. The British Army commissioned her as a major at a time when the United States Army would not recognize females as physicians or as nurses. She took it upon herself and got an order from her commanding officer to come back to the United States and to meet with Henry Stimson, her cousin, in the Pentagon, and to get an order passed that will allow women to become commissioned officers as nurses and as physicians. And it took 3 months for that to happen, and she was the person behind that. She spent her entire life developing the field of orthopedics, and she did it with kindness, compassion, and there are many, many stories that I could go into that demonstrate her love for her patients and her sacrifice for her patients. The reason why I tell you this, however, is because today we have a special honor and presentation to make to one of our own students who displays many of the same traits that Barbara Bartlett Stimson, M.D. displayed, but at a much earlier age. This young lady is a senior at KCOM. She was a freshman when she applied to the CASA Service Learning elective course, but she did not meet the initial requirements to take the academic elective. On her own volition, by her own choosing, she volunteered anyway. She went through 30 hours of mandated federal training and was sworn in as a CASA volunteer, even though she would receive no reward and no academic credit. She did it because, in short, she has a servant's heart. With love, with love and objectivity, she met regularly with her assigned children, and she attended all of the court hearings, and she wrote many of the court reports, and she attended all of the requirements necessary to support the abused and neglected children in her charge. Not only did she do that when it was easy in the first 2 years, she also did it in her third and fourth year when she was on rotations, when it meant self-sacrifice, when it meant time away from loved ones and home, when it meant she could go and do other things that would be more pleasurable than to have to drive back to Kirksville or other places. She came back just to see her children, and she still calls them to this day, even though her workload became so onerous that she was unable to participate. Now, let me tell you that most of the people in the CASA program do an outstanding job, but at the end of their second year when they go on rotation, the vast majority of them do the proper thing of handing it off to another person in the CASA program to take care of their abused and neglected children. I know myself well enough to know, had I been in that service learning elective, I would have done as the many and not as what she did. Only recently did she give up her duties after 3 continuous years of taking care of her children. Because of this consistent demonstration of the highest and best traits of a KCOM student, it is my distinct honor to award to student Dr. Jenny Hicks the second ever Dean's Letter of Commendation. The Dean's Letter of Commendation is reserved for those rare and exceptional students who consistently go far above and beyond what we expect our students. Jenny, would you come forward for the letter? It's supposed to be framed. I couldn't find it this morning. The letter reads, Dear Ms. Hicks, based on your outstanding dedication to representation, the best interest of abused and neglected children in the CASA program under your care, where you have tirelessly and selflessly sacrificed your own energy, time, money, and spirit to best represent the highest standards of both a CASA volunteer and a KCOM student, and where you went above and beyond any expectation of any CASA volunteer, and whereas your actions and behaviors bring the highest honor to KCOM and ATSU, be it known that you are the recipient of the second Dean's Letter of Commendation. It is our deepest desire that you continue to lead others through the example of service to those less fortunate than yourself, and that you continue to bring honor in ATSU through your continued selfless service. Sincerely, Philip C. Slocum, D.O., FCCP, FACOI, FCCM, and FACP. I belong to too many organizations. I apologize.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You're free to go. I have a billion things I could tell you that are going on wonderful, but I wanted just to bring out two things that were going on especially wonderful and to us especially moving. And I thank you all for your patience in listening to me ramble well beyond my expected time. And I thank you for allowing me to eat into your time.
Thank you, Dr. Slocum. At this time, I'd like to introduce Kimberly O'Reilly, the Dean of the School of Health Management, for a few brief remarks. Dr. O'Reilly.
Thank you, Lori. Well, like Phil said, I gave up my time. So really, I just want to thank everybody for coming out today and this weekend, particularly the alumni. The alumni of KCOM are special to the university, not that all of our alumni aren't special, but because of your dedication to your school and the longevity to the school, we were able to become a university. And so my school is particularly thankful to the KCOM alumni for that support and for you allowing us to become ATSU, because without you, we never would have left past being KCOM. So because of you, I have a school, and we are able to carry on the tradition that the original physicians created of public health and health education as its own discipline now. And I hope that your weekend is as wonderful as these introductions have been, and that the students enjoy the Founders Day activities and get a break from the extreme intense academic endeavors that we put you through, and that you have a little bit of time to put your hair down before tests again on Monday and Tuesday. And thank you for those that traveled to Kirksville, and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, Dr. O'Reilly. And now for some fun. It's an honor to introduce the distinguished alumni and guests from the KCOM graduating classes of 1960, 1985, and the members of the Gold Medallion Club. Dr. Magruder and Dr. Slocum will be presenting special recognition pins and medallions. We will start off with the class of 1985, since they're celebrating their 25th class reunion. We know so many of them are actively in practice, and so it's difficult to get here, but we're fortunate to have some of those 25-year recipients with us. We will start out with Dr. Cynthia Boiler from St. Louis, Missouri. Dr. Boiler received her undergraduate education at Central College in Pella, Iowa. While at KCOM, she was class secretary her third and fourth years, class representative to the Student Government Association, served on the Still Kickin' staff, student member of the American Osteopathic Association, president of Delta Omega Sorority, and member of the Student Osteopathic Medical Association. Following graduation, she interned at Baptist Medical Center in Brooklyn, New York. Dr. Boiler practices occupational and preventive medicine in St. Louis and is affiliated with DePaul and DePere hospitals. She's a member of the AOA and MAOPS and many other organizations. She is a member and serves as secretary to the ATSU Board of Trustees. She's also a former member and past president of the Kirksville Osteopathic Alumni Association, and she's the mother of 2 daughters. She says her KCOM memories include the anatomy lab, the library, Sadie Hawkins, and the bachelor's ball. So talk to her later about those memories. Congratulations, Dr. Boiler. Dr. Esmeyer from Milan, Missouri. Dr. Esmeyer received his undergraduate degree from Southeast Missouri State University. Following graduation from KCOM, he completed his internship at Normandy Osteopathic Hospital in St. Louis. Dr. Esmeyer currently practices at the Milan Family Practice and is affiliated with the Sullivan County Memorial Hospital. Dr. Esmeyer is a member of the AOA. Dr. Esmeyer and his wife Belinda have 2 children, Caitlin and Michael. Congratulations, Dr. Esmeyer. Dr. Robert B. Hills from Ada, Michigan. Dr. Hills grew up in Saginaw, Michigan and received his undergraduate education at Central Michigan University in Mount Pleasant. Dr. Hills followed in his father's footsteps, choosing osteopathic medicine as a career. His father attended the Kansas City School. Following graduation from KCOM, Dr. Hills interned at Lansing General Osteopathic Hospital. He now serves as chairman for Iona Hospital, currently practices at Radiology Associates of Southwest Michigan, and is affiliated with Sparrow Hospital. Dr. Hills is affiliated with the AOA, AOCR, and AMA. He and his wife Mindy are the parents of 5 children, and 3 of their sons are with them on this journey. Dr. Hills enjoys both winter and water sports, and he has been involved coaching many of his children's activities, and they are 3 really active boys, so with crew and football and all that. So welcome back, Dr. Hill and your family. Dr. Michael Jacobson from Warrensburg, Missouri. Dr. Jacobson received his undergraduate education at Pacific Lutheran University in Tacoma, Washington. While attending KCOM, he was involved in many activities and organizations, including but not limited to Fellowship of Christian Student Physicians, Sigma Sigma Phi, Student Osteopathic Medical Association, and the Undergraduate American Academy of Osteopathy. Dr. Jacobson completed his internship at Martin Army Hospital in Fort Benning, Georgia. His affiliations include the AOA, AAFP, ASAMA, and on and on and on. Dr. Jacobson currently practices at Whitman Air Force Base. He enjoys boating, fishing, and hunting. Dr. Jacobson and his wife Susie are the parents of 3 children. His son Joshua is currently a first-year student in the class of 2014 and is right over there. Wave, Josh. He's surviving. Dr. Jacobson's memories include roommates, FCSP gatherings, intramural sports, and his anatomy lab buddies. Congratulations. I know we have, I think it's Dr. Dale Wheeler. Are you in the audience? Dr. Wheeler started with the class of 85 and did an OMM fellowship and graduated with the class of 86. But we'd like to welcome him back, and I know he's married with 3 children, but we're glad to have you here, and hopefully next year we'll be pinning you as well. So welcome back. At this time, it is an honor to introduce the Gold Medallion physicians from the class of 1960. In recognition of 50 years of dedicated service to the osteopathic profession and their college, it is our pleasure to present each of the 1960 graduates with the 50th anniversary Gold Medallion. We hope that you will wear this medallion at all college and professional activities to identify yourself as a distinguished member of the ATSU-KCOM alumni body. As I call your name, please come forward to be recognized, and Dr. Magruder and Dr. Slocum will present you with a pin as well as your medallion. Let's start with Dr. Richard Burns from Blissfield, Michigan. Dr. Burns is originally from Toledo, Ohio. He did his undergraduate work at the University of Michigan, Ohio State, and the University of Toledo. Following graduation, he interned at Parkview Hospital. He was in family practice until his retirement. His wife Jean is also retired, and they have 5 grown children and 10 grandchildren. His professional affiliations include the American Osteopathic Association, the Michigan Osteopathic Association, and the Southeast Michigan Osteopathic Association. He enjoys traveling with the Nomads, and his favorite memories of being a student at KCOM and the Kirksville community include the White Cabin, which he says Dr. Hicks referred to as the White Dump, which is now gone, and the elegant appearing Theta Psi house, which is now gone. It's not the one that's elegant now. We've had 2 elegant Theta Psi houses, I guess, but they are not forgotten, any of those memories. So congratulations, Dr. Burns. Dr. Frank Hogue from Plate City, Missouri. Dr. Hogue received his Bachelor's of Science from Truman State University, formerly Missouri State Teachers College. While at KCOM, he was a member of the Bachelor's Club. You ever heard of the Bachelor's Club? Our students are all going, what is that? He was also in Theta Psi and Sigma Tau Gamma. Dr. Hogue completed his anesthesia residency at Normandy Osteopathic Hospital. Dr. Hogue practiced in Daytona Beach, Florida, and St. Louis before moving to Kirksville in 1975 to accept an appointment of Associate Professor of Anesthesiology and the Director of Inhalation Therapy. His professional affiliations include the AOA, MOA, St. Louis Society of Osteopathic Physicians and Surgeons, St. Louis Anesthesia Society, and the AOCA. Dr. Hogue enjoys wood turning. He also has KCOM memories, including days at the Theta Psi house, Angie and Kobe, who ran the kitchen, Yama Yama, and the Bachelor's Club. Keeps coming back. Dr. Hogue and his wife Harriet have 2 children. Congratulations. Dr. Norman Keller from East Grand Rapids, Michigan. Dr. Keller is retired from family practice and a retired member of the medical staff at Metro Health Hospital in Grand Rapids. He is the father of 3 children, and his professional affiliations include the AOA, the American College of Osteopathic Family Physicians, the MOA, and Kent County Osteopathic Association, and the Michigan Association of Osteopathic Family Physicians, where he serves as a member of the Past President's Council. He enjoys connecting with family and friends, community activities, helping the Shriners Hospitals for Children, and attending CME programs, reunions, and other social events. Dr. Keller says that when he thinks back about his days at KCOM, he remembers the entire student body, faculty, and staff, and that they have remained in high regard for the past 54 years. He says he very much appreciates the opportunity to have had all 4 years of his osteopathic medical education in Kirksville, and he has fond memories of the Atlas Club and Acacia Club. Congratulations. Dr. Charles Klein from Kirksville, Missouri. Dr. Klein, a retired pediatrician, received his undergraduate education from Jacksonville University and the University of Florida. Uh-oh, a gator. He was a member of the Undergraduate Academy of Applied Osteopathy and also of the Iota Tau Sigma fraternity. From 1964 to 1976, Dr. Klein served as Chief of Pediatrics, U.S. Army Medical Corps, consultant to the President of the United States on Rural Health, and Chief of Pediatrics at the Fort Worth Osteopathic Medical Center. In 1972 to 73, he served as President of the American College of Osteopathic Pediatricians. In 1969 to 1970, Dr. Klein served as Forum Leader on the White House Conference on Children and Youth. In 1980, he was appointed Professor and Chairman of the Department of Pediatrics and Adolescent Medicine in Kirksville at Northeast Regional Medical Center. His other professional affiliations include MAOPS, Texas Osteopathic Medical Association, Northeast Missouri Osteopathic Association, and of course the AOA. Dr. Klein and his wife Betsy are the parents of 4 children. They celebrated their 50th anniversary, July 12, 2008. Congratulations, Dr. Klein. Dr. Frederick Northrup from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Dr. Northrup, originally from Minnesota, attended St. Olaf College in Northfield, Minnesota, prior to KCOM. Following graduation from KCOM, he interned at Oklahoma Osteopathic Hospital in Tulsa. Dr. Northrup's professional affiliations include the Tulsa District Osteopathic Association, Oklahoma Osteopathic Association, AOA, and American Medical Association. He served as president of the Oklahoma chapter of the KOAA in 1995. Dr. Northrup is still practicing at the Doctor's Family Clinic in Tulsa. His current hospital affiliation is Oklahoma State Medical Center. He enjoys golfing, old cars, and his horse ranch. His memories of KCOM include the ITS house, Elaine's dining room, the rural clinics, Dr. Schneider in anatomy class, and many cherished friendships. He and his wife Patty have 2 children. Congratulations, Dr. Northrup. Dr. Keith Peterson from Seeley Lake, Montana. Before coming to KCOM, Dr. Peterson hailed from Seattle, Washington. He received the bachelor's degree from the University of Montana. He is a founder of the American College of Osteopathic Sports Medicine and a member of the American College of Sports Medicine. Dr. Peterson, who is retired, received the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Montana Pro Rodeo Association, and he is affiliated also with the Northwest Professional Football Foundation. In the winter, Dr. Peterson and his wife Marilyn live in Phoenix, Arizona. They are the parents of 4 children, 2 of which are osteopathic physicians, including Christian, who graduated from KCOM in 1992. What he remembers most about his days at KCOM is their apartment at 314 South Main. Do any of our students live there, 314? We have someone who lives at 314 South Main. He remembers Del Maddox, Madam Neuron, Max Gutenson, Dr. Kasner, Stacy Howell, George Schneider, Hobo Day. We have to talk about Hobo Day. I don't know what that is. The Atlas Club, and of course, Elaine's Restaurant. Congratulations, Dr. Peterson. Next, we have Dr. Dwayne Tisdale from Flint, Texas. Dr. Tisdale is a native Texan. He practiced family medicine and now serves as a contract physician, ER Fast Track, and is affiliated with Palestine Regional Medical Center. He and his wife, Katie, are the parents of 3 children. He's a member of the American Osteopathic Association and the American College of Osteopathic Family Physicians. His hobbies include classical church music, he's a tenor, handgun shooting, and the London Tour 2007. Sounds like fun. The people and places he remembers most about KCOM include the White Cabin, Max Gutenson, Presley Crummy, I Am Core, Virginia Foster, and Fleta Brigham. Congratulations. Students, you'll wonder what we'll say about you in 50 years, don't you? We take good notes, so watch out. Next, we have Dr. Arthur Vandenberg from Portland, Maine. Dr. Vandenberg, who is originally from Middlebury, Vermont, received his undergraduate degree at Springfield College in Massachusetts. While a KCOM student, he worked at KOH much of his first 3 years, and then he completed his internship there. He is a retired pathologist, and his professional affiliations include the American Osteopathic Association, the Maine Osteopathic Association, and the American Osteopathic College of Pathologists, and many, many others that relate to pathology. Dr. Vandenberg was involved in the founding of the University of New England College of Osteopathic Medicine, participated in curriculum planning for the college, and has taught pathology for 32 years. He served on the Maine Board of Osteopathic Registration for 14 years, was president of the Maine Osteopathic Association, and was a lieutenant commander in the U.S. Naval Reserve Medical from 1966 to 1974. He continues to teach at the Maine College. He's proud of his nephew, go figure on this one, Dr. Slocum, Dean. He and his wife Judith are the parents of 6 children. He remembers the Atlas Club, Dr. Crummy, Drs. Max and Olin Gutenson, and the rural clinics. He interned at KOH, and 3 of his children were born there. He enjoys singing, reading, and golf, and has taken many trips overseas. Congratulations.
I'm going to steal the microphone because there is another member of the class of 50, 50th anniversary class that could not make it. And he was my boss in Texas, and that was Dr. David Richards. He was unable to come in from Ohio, but I'm wearing this bow tie in honor of him because he gave this to me. He had a pulmonary condition, and his 2 sons sent him to Southwestern Medical Center and then down to Texas A&M, and they could not make the diagnosis. And so out of frustration, my chairman said, why don't you go see Phil Slocum? And we diagnosed him, treated him, and he was better 2 weeks later. And as a momentum of his thanks, he bought me this bow tie, which is made in Middlebury, Vermont.
Thank you. Great. Please join me in recognizing our new gold medallions. Please all stand. Congratulations. Thank you. A number of alumni who received their gold medallion recognition in previous years are with us today. And when I call their names, I'm going to ask them to stand and share some brief remarks about them as well. And they can just stand at their seats. We have Dr. Robert Willis with us from the class of 1957. Dr. Willis is right here on the aisle if you prefer. And he calls Kirksville his home. Prior to his KCOM education, he received his bachelor's from Truman State University. And while at KCOM, he was a member of Psi Sigma Alpha, serving as a secretary, and was also a biochemistry laboratory assistant. Following graduation, he completed his internship at Kirksville Osteopathic Hospital, now Northeast Regional. Dr. Willis' professional affiliations include the American College of Osteopathic Family Physicians, MOA, AOA, and he is the father of 4 children. Thanks for being with us today, Dr. Willis. We have several members from the class of 55 here, and that's 1955, and they are Dr. Maurice Fuchs from Hawesville, Kentucky. Dr. Fuchs, if you'd stand. He grew up in Floral, Kentucky, and he attended Western Kentucky State College in Bowling Green. While at KCOM, he was a member of Alpha Phi Omega, Phi Sigma Gamma, and the Interfraternity Council. He completed his internship at Laughlin Hospital here in Kirksville. He began a family practice in Whitesville, Kentucky in 1956 and retired in 1997. In 1995, the Kentucky Osteopathic Medical Association named him Osteopathic Physician of the Year, and the Lions Club International named him a Melvin Jones Fellow. Dr. Fuchs was a member of the Kentucky State Board of Medical Licensures from 1982 to 86. In his free time, he enjoys playing croquet and collecting Jim Beam decanters. You can probably find a lot down in Kentucky. Dr. Fuchs and his wife Virginia are the parents of a son, Gary. After 40 years of practice in Whitesville, Kentucky, Dr. and Mrs. Fuchs moved to Hawesville, where they built a log cabin in the country. Welcome back. We're glad you're here. Next from the class of 55, Dr. James Short from Shiatook, Oklahoma. Did I pronounce that correct? Oh, Tulsa. You're in Tulsa. I have the wrong city down. So, Winnegan. Better make note of that. Before going to college, Dr. Short called Stillwater, Oklahoma, his home. He received a bachelor's degree from Oklahoma A&M. While a student, he was a member of Phi Sigma Gamma, Sigma Sigma Phi, and the Student Council and Interfraternity Council. He completed an internship at Oklahoma Osteopathic Hospital. Dr. Short has been in family practice and general surgery. He's affiliated with Tulsa Regional Medical Center, where he has served as medical director. He and his wife, Darlene, have been married for 50 years and have 2 sons, Matt and Christopher. He's a member of the Oklahoma Osteopathic Association, the AOA, the American College of Osteopathic Family Physicians, and the Tulsa District Medical Society. He likes to garden and do photography and also farming. Welcome back. Thank you. A familiar face on campus as well as around Kirksville is Dr. George Shire from the class of 1954. Dr. Shire was raised in Williamsburg, Pennsylvania, and received his undergraduate degree from Pennsylvania State College. Following graduation from KCOM, he interned at Bashline Rossman Osteopathic Hospital in Grove City, Pennsylvania, as well as Northeast Regional Medical Center here in Kirksville. He joined the KCOM faculty in 1956, where he held many teaching and administrative positions, including medical director and associate administrator of Still Hildreth Osteopathic Hospital in Macon, and assistant to the president for facilities, the position he held when he retired. He's an emeritus associate professor in internal medicine and emeritus assistant to the president for facilities. Dr. Shire has been recognized on several occasions for his outstanding record of service, including the KOAA's Distinguished Service Award in 1991 and the Living Tribute Award in 1993 and the Missouri Association of Osteopathic Physicians and Surgeons Medallion Award. He is the father of 2 children. Congratulations and welcome back. Thanks. Dr. Edward Herrmann from the class of 1953 is with us. Dr. Herrmann was born in Cherokee, Iowa, and received his undergraduate education from State Teachers College of Iowa in Cedar Falls and Parsons College in Fairfield, Iowa. While a student, he was a member of Psi Sigma Gamma. He completed his internship at Northeast Regional Medical Center in Kirksville and then was in general practice for 10 years in Crawfordsville, Iowa. Dr. Herrmann returned to Kirksville and completed a residency in orthopedic surgery. He then joined the staff in 1967 and held several faculty positions, including director of the emergency room, chair of orthopedic surgery, and professor and chair of surgery. Dr. Herrmann is certified in orthopedic surgery and a member of the AOA, the ACOS, and the AOAO. His late mother is a 1928 KCOM graduate. Dr. Herrmann is retired, and he and his wife Dolores are the parents of 2 children. Thank you, Dr. Herrmann, for being here. Can you tell we're going through time here? I'm down to the class of 1950. That's 60 years ago. And Dr. Eleanor Roberts, right here on the aisle, is right here with us. And Dr. Roberts was born in Chicago, Illinois. She received her undergraduate education at Allegheny College in Meadville, Pennsylvania, and did graduate work in meteorology at MIT. Dr. Roberts is a veteran. She served in the waves, and actually she was a weather forecaster for the military. It's very interesting and fascinating. While a KCOM student, she was a member of Delta Omega, serving as president. Following her graduation from KCOM, she and her late husband, Ed Roberts, D.O., who was also a 1950 graduate, were in family practice just north of here in Queen City, Missouri. Her professional affiliations include the AOA, MAOPS, and she's a life member and editor of the American Meteorology Society. She has also been listed in Who's Who of American Women. Dr. Roberts is the mother of 3 children. She's now retired. She enjoys genealogy, stamp collecting, and painting. She's a remarkable lady. Dr. Roberts. We have another very famous person right on the aisle, and this person's from the class of 1936. And when you do the math, that's 74 years ago. And that's Dr. Doran Farnum from San Juan Capistrano, California. Dr. Farnum I'll share a little bit about Dr. Farnum. He was born in Middletown, Rhode Island, and attended the Danville Military Institute in Danville, Virginia. He completed his internship at Laughlin Hospital in Kirksville. He is semi-retired. He continues to practice OMM in California, and he walks several blocks 4 times a week to the office. Isn't that wonderful? He's board certified and a member of the AOA, the Wisconsin Association of Osteopathic Physicians and Surgeons, the American Academy of Osteopathy, and the American Osteopathic Academy of Proctology. Dr. Farnum has enjoyed traveling the world and has circled the world 3 different times, once in a ship. He's been to 75, 76 countries around the world, and he amazingly gets back to Kirksville for many Founders Day, which is just remarkable. He is just shy of his 98th birthday, and his sister was also a graduate of the class of 36, and what's also remarkable, his father graduated from the ASO in 1908. So this is the closest person we have to Dr. Still with us today. Dr. Farnum, as Dr. Magruder talks about, I want to say that Dr. Farnum, I got to drive him around last night and I get to see him about once a year here. But he truly displays what A.T. Still refers to as the touch of the soft hand of kindness. Welcome back. At this time, I would like our Still partners, family members, and the guests celebrating with the loved ones that we just recognized to please stand, because you've been the support system behind these wonderful people. So please rise, and we'd like to acknowledge you. Welcome back. Thank you, Gold Medallion Club members and reunion participants. We're honored to have you back on campus. All of you have left a legacy to generations of KCOM students and graduates. Thank you for the many years of healing and the dedication you have provided to your college. And also thank all of you for participating in the all-campus meeting this morning. This concludes our program, but at this time we would like to invite you to wander over to the Heritage Hall area for the unveiling of a piece of artwork called The Healing Touch. And also for our alumni classes, we're going to do reunion photographs in the Heritage Hall area by the cabin in the school, and we'll have those done for you professionally. So when we conclude, we'll walk over there. So thank you. Have a great weekend, everybody, and welcome back.